Greetings, bless up. It's Shaman, and it's another of what we call a Monday morning. It's a blessed rise, and I just want to preface that for the purpose of this being understood across the board. I'm not going to understand, kids, children, youth. I'm just going to speak in probably predominantly system language, just so that it's something that's hospitable to everyone. Elders for me in this particular Iowa, or this particular time period, are over 55. And elders were always respected, and we were always the guides long before we ever even were subjugated to government, to being governed like a car, right? And we were told to get into gear. Bless up, Kim. So we were the elders that had a council of elders through the temples. This is written about by Riane Eisler in The Chalice and the Blade, which I read around 1989, I think, when it first came out. And Riane has done a fabulous job as an elder and a Holocaust survivor herself. If you think about how they are changing up a lot of our history, her story. And one of my preface on this particular live stream is that I'm just going to speak in system language. So I'm not trying to, get everyone confused with inner, over, unders, kids, youth, whatever. I'm just going to speak in system language. So I said, good morning. This is so everyone can understand, children, the infants to the aged, and the piece that the elders play. With the conditioning that began with horrific slew and murder, and you can go back and you can read about this in the Old Testament, and you can read about it in books like The Chalice and the Blade, which I read when it first came out. I've got it on the shelf behind me. You can read about it in When God Was a Woman by Merlin Stone, which was given to me in 1976 by my maternal grandmother, Etna Floyd. You can read in, not as much about it, but you can really get some good insights from Maria Gumbutas. And two of them are gone now. And so Riane is who we have left, to my knowledge. So when I go and I write on other people's posts, I don't expect you to bow down because I'm an elder, but I expect you to listen, okay? And when you don't listen, not only do you make it more difficult for yourself, but you also make it so that I am going to be less likely to want to help you and contribute to what's going on, because you show me that you don't have the respect of at least acknowledging, giving thanks, or implementing some of the suggestions that I give you. If at 57 years old next month, I get up and I take care of 3 dogs that are raw fed, which means I have to shop for them a couple times a week and also make vegan food for them to try to ease up on the factory farming horrible abuses that are happening, and take care of them simultaneously at the same time. And if you're taking care of a family member who's got a drug addiction and it requires an enormous amount of energy, sometimes people don't even understand that maybe you might be sleeping with one eye open with yourself, knowing where the syringe of Narcan is so that you can inject it in a person's thigh so that you can save their life. We don't get to decide. I don't get to decide when a client comes to me with Parkinson's disease. I might tell them, let's get to work on this. Let's not let it take too long. The same thing is true with addiction. There's emotional pain, there's thyroid imbalance, there's mineral imbalance, there's mercury poisoning, there might be lead poisoning, there might be accumulation of experiences of racism or gender or abilityism or any other schisms that happen in that person's life, of which you may not know. It also may be that person experienced so much grief and anguish that it became overwhelming for them to cope. But it is really more often than not, when I do neurodegenerative or neuroendocrine works, that a person has degenerated from a cumulative experience. If you're eating sugar and you're constantly flipping your insulin and you're stressing out your pancreas, and you're constantly eating wheat and your gut's bloody, and you're constantly, feeding yourself foods that you interpret will give you quick bursts of energy, sugar, and things that will take your stomach into the predictable food coma so that you don't have to think about life, then the pancakes and the waffles and the mac and cheese and all these things that were so appealing, particularly to African people with the large post-traumatic stress disorder that rippled through many, many generations over 400 years. People have used food as a sedative, okay? What's really a sedative is magnesium. And part of the reason why we have, and I have Rastafari brothers and other brothers and sisters here on Facebook that were sitting in the hospital in a bed for days on end with fluid around their heart being treated by Western allopathic doctors. And I would inbox and say, I'll give you a free session. I know you need this, right? And they're right here on my wall. You can be listening to me right now if you'd like to. And I'll tell you that I could have put you on iodine, taken a look at your diet, made a couple of tweaks, and helped you to eliminate the swelling and the fluid retention, the edema that you had around your heart. I could have taken a look at your tongue. I could have asked you about, some of the other vital signs that doctors check for. I could have asked you about your diet, and we could have fixed you up in no time, but now you left with another medication and more treatment, and they're just going to F you up. They're just going to take advantage of you because you don't know any better and you won't listen. That is called foolishness. In fact, sometimes it's called foolishness and fuckery. Okay? So what you have is a plain full of all of these businesses, and they are set up so that if you continue to act like little children and you don't emancipate and mature and ripen yourselves and develop good, strong habits, they will also be paid to box you, group home you, medicate you, sedate you. And then when we have the lion's share of the lions and the lionesses sedated through foods and chemicals and being, the expression is no slight to swine, but being pig-headed and not listening to anything and listening to all these youngers come on who just found out about this or that, or for the last 5 or 10 years they've been vegan, and they flex their abs and they get on there and they're showing you all their stuff and oh my God, they look so good, and you follow them. Where are they now? Okay, most of them that are in my age group are alcoholics. They're on blood pressure and cholesterol medication, or you're over there toking on weed all frickin' day. Nothing that you smoke can be good for you to put hot air and any kind of anything that you smoke into your throat. You're not designed to be a chimney. You don't smoke, okay? Especially the wax that you hit with the torches and stuff like that. But when you speak with younger people about this, or even older people my age, and you say, find a way to use cannabis by juicing the leaves, by making edibles that you made out of coconut oil, so you're using a base, or a tincture made out of vegetable glycerin, okay? Or you use it topically on the body, like I make a medicine out of cacao and shea and coconut, and I put it on the body because why is that a medicine? Well, there's medicine in the shea, there's anti-inflammatory and soothing medication in the coconut, and there's tons of magnesium, which is a smoother, endocrine and neurological smoother. Magnesium is a sedative, okay? So we have business after business after business. We have the wrap thing and the lose the weight thing and the this will make your life easy thing for your diet. And everyone is out there with, their hands into the pie instead of us saying, okay, here's the pie, let's share the pie. Let's share the pie up, okay? Let's gut out these nasty buildings that I've been teaching over and over. House the clown, the king, the domino, the little red-haired, white girl Wendy's. All of these businesses, none of which are truly serving people, but they're taking advantage of you. They're taking your money, they're taking your energy, and they're sending you into door number 2, which is the allopathic doctor. If I tell you that allergies, cold, flu, asthma, all these things are not normal, and the people that taught Dr. Sebi, Dr. Shook, and the people that taught Arnold Ehret, and the people that taught Professor Hilton Hotema, and the people, we've always taught each other because it's innate knowledge that just like a wellspring, it just needs to be looked at and opened and observed. So when I connect with someone like Sis Kim, I'm connecting with my own reflection. This is what I used to speak about with Nature Boy on the phone. But again, he got pig-headed. Instead of, and he did say, give thanks for shaman, and she's melanated and all that. But I watched Yada, I watched Nature Boy, I watched all of you follow all of them, and I'm sure you probably thought, oh, she's just a hater, she's just competitive, she's just kind of upset that we're not following her. But where are the people who have navigated successfully through this system, or the matrix, as I like to call it, and they've seen their true self, they've worked with real communication, which is telepathy, super high level intuitive, the drum, the dance, walking on and with the earth, learning the partnership ways, and not using the medications. Where are these people that you're following with all the, shine it on their abs and, oh, how sexy they are and all their different, I don't give a shit about that. I don't have time to frickin' be an entertainer for you. I don't go and get my teeth bleached. They've been through hell and back with dentists. I'm not here to put on all the makeup and make you think that I'm the sexiest person. That's not what I'm about. But damn it, I get up and I do daily habits. I'm almost 57. I'm still working. Okay? I'm massaging people. I'm healing people. I'm reading. I'm studying. I'm taking care of the pack. I make sure they get their 2 meals. I make sure they get their bathing done with my hands. I make sure the chores and the sweeping, I make sure that I keep to myself when I know that my personal culture has gone to such a level that most people would never understand it. So I know it's dangerous for me to get too close. So in that way, when you're living in a very small city and you don't have a larger fishbowl so that you can connect on the physical, not just this, the virtual, okay? Because I could meet many of you in person and you'd say, oh, no way, I don't want her around. I watch TV, every night, and I sit there and I drink a beer and watch TV and smoke a joint every night because that's how I relax. She's going to be judging me. You're damn straight, okay? You're damn straight. Because if you don't set good habits into practice, you are going to burn out your throat and your esophagus. So why keep making babies? So you won't be around to advocate for them when the system isn't going to treat them well? Or did you not notice what happened for 400 years with Africans and what happened to Native Indigenous Americans that we know were here when Europeans came over? What we know happens at PetSmart and Petco with all the dog grooming where the face falls off. It's not 1 or 2, it's a ton. I can't even open onegreenplanet.org on their email without seeing another poor little puppy or dog that's been horrifically and heinously abused by some person who's not well in the head, okay? I've taken care of these animals. No one's paid me to do that. So show me your elders that are doing their chores, that are still working, that are not medicating, that are not hitting the escape button every single day, that don't have a television in their house, that aren't running to the doctor not even once a year, that aren't full of colds and flu, that don't have to bleach their teeth, that don't have to put a face full of makeup on, that don't have to run and go shopping all the time, that don't go attend fake ass entertainment, okay? Because if there really is work to be done and you're still grappling about whether or not the wife is putting out for you sexually, you're in too deep. Your first priority should be your babies, okay? Your first priority should be you're going to be sending your babies out into what I've sent my baby out into. And trust me, my baby's older than many of your babies, and it's not pretty. So if you have little ones right now that are under 10 or 18 or whatever, maybe it's time you wake the fuck up. Some of you on my page, you had to sit down. You've been in prison for 7 or 10 years or 12 years, and you had to sit down. Well, when I left Santa Cruz at age 42, I had to sit down. I came to Cloquet, Minnesota, and I had to sit down. I don't want to socialize with people here. There aren't any really super fun reggae festivals. There's one a year, and frankly, it's absolutely pathetic. But I still go to it. I still make the best of it. You know, I still get out there and go have a little fun and go have some music. But it's nothing like what I remember. We have a few farmers markets, but they're nothing like they were back home, with big, beautiful bags of salad full of flowers and stuff grown on pristine ground that was blessed by the iodine from the sea. The sun was shining every day and the beach fog rolled in. I lived half a block from the ocean. I was a reggae wife. I mean, so see, your life, not just your narrative, can take twists and turns. And if you don't have good daily habits put into place, you will maladapt. The stress will kill you. It will kill you down, trust me. The system is not going to get any easier on you. I listen to females, women that come in to get massages, and their experience level is that their husband's been gone for a week. They went right from the mommy and daddy nest into the husband nest, okay? Life has always been a super little comfortable bubble. They've always had a vacation. They've always been able to go spend what they want at the grocery store. And now husband's not there to bring in the groceries. And it's like, oh my God, my husband's going to be gone for a week. Oh my God. And I'm thinking, shit. Whoa, really? But it's not from a judging perspective. It's, okay, so now that kind of gives me an inclination about how will you really be able to handle what's about to happen? How will you be able to wrap your mind around what's really happening, because you're still way deep into the fairy tale world? What you expose your child to, I had to learn the hard way. You can either learn from me or you can learn it yourself the hard way, because what is becoming familiar to them is what they're going to repeat. It remains in their narrative, okay? So what you eat, what your home is like, how you do your chores, how you spend your time, your attitudes, your energy levels. What do you give back? Are you taking care of animals in front of them? Are you healing people in front of them? Are you preparing food in front of them? Are you sweeping your floor every day? How are you spending your money in front of them? What are you showing them entertainment is? Okay? Our world is so drugged. Of course they made the new version of cannabis legal because they know damn good and well most of you are going to check out. If I had you pack up with me for a month, I had Anthony pack up with me for about 4 months. No cannabis, no alcohol, no TV, no bed, sleeping on the ground, reducing the showers, mostly raw food, Not all, but mostly. Okay. How would most of you fare? Really, how would you fare? Because I can tell you what would happen to your body. You would get lean and you would get real and you would get present. And I can tell you that 99% of the people that you're following on here are fake as shit. So why am I saying it? Because I want you all to jump over to my boat? No, because I want you to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I work with some of the most absolutely difficult neurodegenerative, neuroendocrine, because I earned it for decades. Not just detoxification, deep level stuff where you combine your observations, deep level mind body, not a yoga mat and a guided meditation and a fruity thing, a fruit experience. Be a fruitarian for a week. If your body's fat, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't get on there and celebrate your fatness and your fat folds. And, for God's sakes, there's nothing healthy about being fat. What are you doing to lift yourself up so that you are a model worthy of imitation? Not your bank account, not how many credit cards you have, not how much you show us your abs, not how many things, places you go. I'm talking about, are you a model worthy of imitation? Are you just getting information and getting it from Goo Gaga, your Google? Or are you really digging and finding it from people that walked this earth before you? Otherwise, you're going to be caught off guard as to why my wife doesn't want to give me sex after we have a baby or two, or we have a toddler. Well, damn it, if you're not putting hormones in yourself 24/7 and eating chicken babies and dead animals and stuff like that, and I'm telling this to the under 25 crowd, and I get this, and I go, I'm not playing. Your poor habits reflect on me, because if I can't get you to get good habits, I can't get traction to do the work I need to do, and I can't have a pack that is strong because you won't discipline yourself. So yes, if you're smoking cigarettes and you got to hit the fucking pipe every night, and you don't have food, but you got money to buy weed, you got money to have wax, but you can't pay your bills, okay? And you can't take care of, your responsibilities. Or I tell you, come on, let's get you going. Let's get you in a treatment facility so you can get yourself, because this is too much for one person to handle, the person who's under the influence. And you don't do it. You wear down the elder who would work for free to be part of the Council of Elders for us all, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And you, the global you in the world, doesn't have a fucking clue when it comes to seeing a powerful woman. All you've seen is, oh, hi, how are you? Well, I've got, I'm going to have some smoothie girl, and then I'm going to go out with the alkaline girls. And, well, I don't know, I'm kind of tired, but I think I'm going to go get my hair done and, fucking grow up. Seriously? We don't have time for bullshit. Those children that are locked up don't have time for bullshit. Those animals in the slaughterhouse don't have time for bullshit. And the people that are lined up in all the doctor's office doing this, put the needle in there, baby. Hand over the blood, the minerals. I keep showing you and telling you. I've been on Facebook for a long time, and pretty soon I'm going to say, fuck off. I'm not going to be on Facebook anymore because you can't listen. Or you go, oh, whatever. I mean, she was fucking judgmental. No, dude, if you're fat, you're fucking fat. Lose the fat, okay? Lose the fat. If you got the pipe up to your mouth every night because you can't sleep, you can't think, you're anxious, well, then it's time to figure out what to do about your anxiety, not just stick the fucking pipe up to your mouth and give yourself esophageal cancer. because you're not designed to be a furnace. Okay? If you've got an acidic stomach, you've got constipation, you've got allergies, if you've got colds and flus, stop blaming young children and putting a guilt complex on them when you yourself are foul with stench and mucus and bullshit. If you got time to watch TV, if you got time to go to the casino, if you got time to have animals on your property that you really legitimately think that you own and you don't, and you're going to cut them up and serve their bloody bodies up to other people because you're going to make a profit off of their bloody body, you're in too deep. So what's the priority? How do we get out of this mess? What do we do? Come on, shaman. You don't even have any fucking real shamans left. You don't even know what they are. Number one, you fucking drove the Native Americans berserk. You took them all and put them into fucking boarding homes, cut off their hair and told them not to speak their language. You took away their magic. Your goddamn Bible talks about how divination is wrong. You don't divine. You can't cross your creator. And I don't care if you're Rastafari, you're Jewish, you're Muslim, or whatever you are. It's all a cross translation. It's all turn over your power and fucking sit down and submit. That's all it is. Sit the fuck down and submit. And somebody's getting rich off of it in every one of those corners of the pool table. When somebody else shoots the ball right into the corner and, using the cue ball, the white ball. I'm not going to cover up. I'm not going to go out on a 90-degree day and wear a long fucking gown or put shit around my face. That's called resource guarding. That's what people do when they don't want women to be powerful. Neither is swearing. Swearing is wrong too. It's sloppy. I get it. But at some point you start to think to yourself, do you just give up on people and just kind of just go live your own life and say, forget it? You watch and you think, well, maybe this other younger, they're in their 30s, and they're going to step up, nature boy included. They're going to do what's right. They're going to listen, calls me on the phone, we talk. Disrespectful little fucking shit. I told them, you're going to get smacked. You're going to get smacked within 6 fucking months. Especially you go walking into somebody else's country and disrespecting Dr. Sebi before you even take your fucking ass over into Honduras. Okay? I have dealt with people disbelieving, discrediting, calling me a quack, calling me a charlatan, putting negative shit on the internet, fake and plastic shaman, and all kind of bullshit. I'm stronger than that. I'm 100 fucking times stronger than that. I've dealt with shit that would blow your fucking mind. Okay? And still, I'm a mother. I'm kind. I'm considerate. I get up and do my chores, even if I barely slept the night before. And I've got one confidant. Sometimes I reach out to Kim and I say, oh my God, it's even more challenging. It's even more challenging, but I'm going to step up to it. I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep searching. I'm going to keep doing. Okay. No, I'm not model material. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the money in the world. Don't give me your fucking manifest money bullshit. I work for it. I do honest things for it. I heal people for it. Okay? I can't promise someone's going to turn around, but 99% of my clients have had miracle cures. They've reversed things that everyone said was absolutely impossible. Necrotic stage 3 kidney disease, myasthenia gravis, lupus, and still, when you get disrespectful and you stop practicing your daily habits and you start eating bullshit and you start drinking alcohol and you start staying up all night and you start stressing the shit out of yourself and going into another school program, and then you go and pay thousands, or you have other people pay thousands of dollars for you to go somewhere, don't ask me to be your fucking cheerleader. These centers are robbing you blind, serving you brown fucking rice and beans when you get done with the fast. And if I speak up and I say, that doesn't sound right, then I'm somehow the bad person, right? No. If we cannot educate and you have no trust basis whatsoever, and we cannot establish our food forest, what is right and wrong, then you're going to do what you're doing today. You're going to bend over and take it in the ass. That's what they used to say in the 50s and 60s. Do you think I'm so stupid that you can just bend me over and I'll take it in the ass? Well, today you do. And now you want your children to bend over and take it in the ass, because if you're too fucking checked out, you can't advocate for your children and they're going to take the brunt of it. If you are damaging yourself and you can't get up and advocate and all you can think about is money because of the taxation and the cost of living increases and all the medications you're under because you're too pig-headed, no slight to the pigs again, to listen when people tell you 99.9% of the medications and surgeries are unnecessary. I watched something posted on Shannon's page about this man. Oh, he was a professor of computer science and his child had this disease that uncharted. No one had a name for it. There was no code name for this disease. And the man researched and researched and researched. And eventually he found, to make a long story short, giving his child Prevacid, his child started to respond. Well, fuck yeah, because there's magnesium and titanium and everything else. So he was giving his child a dose of fucking minerals. How many more generations of our children are going to be mineral depleted? I've even reached out to some of the Rostas and said, let's do a consultation with your partner before she gives birth to another child because they're depleted. World War studies proved that without giving viable and molecular level iodine, children were born mentally retarded. And the other generations of experiments before me, they were all full of goiters on the side of their neck. They had big fat buffalo humps. Just take a look at some of your parents. Ask them to stand to the side. Look at the buffalo hump for yourself. Look at the pictures of some of your ancestors. It is a multi-generational experiment. Each one looks a little different than the next. So some of them were mentally retarded. They went into goiters. Now you're going into thyroid disease. Your tongue is thick. You're going into hormonal imbalances. You're going into neurological and neuroendocrine degeneration. So I am experienced enough in 34 years, but in a lifetime of building my intuitive levels in a way that most of you probably think is fucking make-believe. I actually hear the ancestors. When I was doing African dance and got to where I was performing African Congolese dance, which took a lot of work to drive the white rhythm dork out of me, years of going 3 times a week and disciplining myself to do it and be able to step right on time with the drummer and doing the drumming with Babatunde Olatunji, another ancestor who's resting in power. I took the time, I invested. They cost me money, energy. They cost me time, energy. I got frustrated. I had to overcome that. I heard a whole beautiful orchestra of African women's voices in my ears. No shit. But people don't have time for that. And if they're staring at this thing all the freaking time, you're too distracted. If you're high all the time and you're looking at the phone and you're busy all the time, you're not going to be able to get this shit. You're not going to be able to dig and find old books because you're going to quickly Google. So there aren't many of us left anymore to help you. I was raised from a grandmother that said, of course we don't go to a frickin' doctor that would give you drugs to solve every problem. But you've been eating animals that have been drugged for nearly 100 years, full of antibiotics and hormones. So that has destroyed your gut, and you can't scratch your head and go, what's wrong with my gut? Because your gut is injured. I mean, I sat here just the last few nights and said, so we're still going to eat flesh? Yeah. Okay. Are we going to leave too late out the door and get speeding tickets? Are we not going to understand that when a woman's done procreating, she has no interest in fucking you? Okay? She doesn't. That's called natural rhythm. Now her focus is on nesting, providing. She might want to make love with you on occasion, but she doesn't want to service you. She doesn't want to service you. And you shouldn't expect that. So if you are going to believe a system that says, you're 18, get out there and go live on your own. Don't be a sponge on mom and dad, right? And grandma and grandpa live over here and mom and dad live over here. And well, you got a good opportunity because you went to college and you dropped $140, sweetie, and you became educated and you got a job over in Pennsylvania and mom and dad's over in New York and sister and brothers out in California and Oregon. Well, there's nothing really wrong with that, but it's called what? Disconnected. You don't have your full range of power because your elders are the ones that are your blood and they love you. And the more of us that were connected, we were able then to connect with our neighbors and connect with our outlying neighbors. But now, since we're so sick and disconnected, we want more walls and more vaccines, and we want more things that evidence our disconnection. How did we get this disconnected? Because as much as I don't like the word disorder because it's materialism, it makes us sound like we're broken machines. And since we're having intercourse with machines and we're pulling ourselves further into artificial intelligence voluntarily, wake up. Wake up now. Okay. You were attachment disordered. When we pulled temple priestesses out of the beautiful, ornate, open-aired temples in the Fertile Crescent, their gorgeous artwork and time to make love, time to parent our children, not our. We didn't have drug addiction. We didn't have prisons. We didn't have courts. We had oracles, prophets. We had tablets. You still have, you call her the Statue of Liberty. She's over here in Duluth. She's always on water. Living waters. Always. She's facing water. Jezebel, Lauryn Hill's song. That was the spell that did Jezebel in. Jezebel was a famous, loved, powerful temple priestess. So what did the Indo-Aryans do when they rode in over the Caucasus Mountains? This is documented. They grabbed her by her hair. They shamed her. They drug her through town, brutalized her, heinously attacked her, horrifically damaged her until they killed her. Sometimes these marauders would go in and kill up to 1,000 by slew and murder every day, going to different villages and stealing their gold and their younger women. And eventually they came to what? Putting a platinum band on their finger, which meant what? They were chattel. They were owned. You still fucking do it today. And you even go pay for the fucking marriage certificate. And even when I studied family law, I thought to study maritime law because the ancestors kept screaming, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I'm looking at maritime law and I'm looking at the language on it. This is like 30-something years, this is 1985. And I'm looking at the language and I go, shit, oh my God, this is some fucked up shit right here. Women were chattel. Africans were property. What we call Native Americans, what we call a country. The movement to create all of these re/publics, these artificial contrived disasters to clear out people, the clearing out of all the pygmy people. Look at Africa. They have totally fucked over Africa with Bibles and vaccines and the Red Cross, and they swoop in there and they take what they want. So if you haven't figured out with all my posts by now, let me break it down in a super concrete, digestible format. You're being harvested. You're on a farm just like the piggies and the turkeys and the chickens. If you've ever seen the movie Dr. Moreau's Island, you're an amalgamation of plant, amphibian, animal. Take a look. It's not difficult. Okay? You're like a vehicle full of minerals that can be harvested. Energy can be harvested. And then there's other entities that like to take the money, which is currency. It's your lifeblood to work every day. I don't know about you, but when I go into a dark room and I'm massaging somebody for an hour and a half, and I'm loving on them, and it's not that I'm just disliking what I'm doing, I'm not, but whether you're going to the mall or you're going into the room and massaging, or you're driving somebody in a vehicle, or you're taking care of somebody else's child, now it starts to disconnect you from doing something you truly love with your world family, because now it becomes us and them. So now little packs start to form where, well, we got to kind of get up on that one. I mean, we used to call it keeping up with the Joneses in the neighborhood. Okay? We have work to do, and we can't do it if we're going to keep ourselves busy with entertainment and fake stuff and being high all the time and checking out and being on food chemicals and being treated through the doctors because they're treating you and treating you and treating you to death. And yes, for 34 years, I've had every manner of name calling, and then I have people turn around later and go, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that person healed. Jeez. Or hey, at least that person was a hell of a lot better off. So I've seen things that would be extremely unusual or scary. Most of you don't even see healing. All you see is treating. That's all you see. They treat you to chemicals in your arm because now they know how to get your minerals from you in a multitude of ways. That's why I told you there's gold in your blood. I gave you an article because you won't believe it from me. So I put an article, I put a link on there so you can see that. There's gold in your veins. We don't need a leader. I don't want to be a leader. I want to be one of a council of unmedicated, crystal clear elders who doesn't charge money, who's clear-headed, who can sit down and agree to disagree on the items and subjects that we need to look at to move forward. I'm a mother. I'm a powerful woman. I'm someone with a hell of a lot, a great deal of experience, far more, to be fucking honest, than anybody I see on Facebook or many other places. I see all of these academics that got paid to fly over to Peru and South America and all these places. They got paid because they're academics. They work inside of colleges and universities that have big budgets that send them over there, and they kind of schmooze it up with some of the indigenous shamans, most of which aren't even left anymore because they've all been killed off, but they need to make a living too. So they kind of come up with a potion, or, oh, this will clear out your gut, or this will get you shitting for the next 12 hours. We got that berry or that stone over there, and these dumb Americans are coming over and they don't know shit from Shinola. They got to make a living too, man. They're hungry. They're thirsty. And you're fucking dumb enough to not even see through it. So how do we heal? The same order of operations that has to be applied when someone is extremely degenerated is the same thing we have to do for us. Yeah, I want to get on a plane and take off and just leave the country and say, fuck this mess. But I didn't fucking run out on my 3 companions, my pack. They're my pack. I didn't run out on my son when he's been down in trouble. I could have left 2 years ago, but I didn't bail on him because allegiance, honesty, integrity, respect, being a mother, all those things are superior to just, well, I just want to be comfortable. Do you get it? Do you get it? That most everything you're following is fake? Do you get it? Stop following the abs and the dick, the penis, the fucking sexual shit. The only reason you're as sexual as you are, so get off your wife's back, your partner's back, your husband's back, whatever, laying on a bed and fuck me, you're sick. You're hormonally sick. Yes, you didn't know for almost 20 years as you were a cannibal and eating dead blood and flesh, you didn't know that you were eating gobs and gobs of estrogen. And now all your little boys and girls wake up and wonder, I don't know, I think I'm a boy. I might not be a girl. You got life fucked up. Okay? The ass is for elimination. Okay? You are what you are when you're born. I get it. We have people we love, not giving you a hard time. But if we can't do the order of operations, which is to gather the facts, stabilize the people, detox the people and the environment, and mama needs help. You shouldn't be a parasite on her back. You should be helping. If they tell you we have too many fucking people, turn around and tell them you have too much fucking blacktop and concrete. Give them Bob Marley's song, Prophet Marley, Concrete Jungle. No, plant can't sprout up through concrete and blacktop. People can't live and plant food. Why do you think you have grasses and unnatural landscape? It's control mechanisms. Because if you grew your own food and you knew that your body healed itself, you wouldn't be as dependent on them. So if they drill all my teeth like they did when I was a 12-year-old girl and put 25 fucking deep level fillings full of mercury and silver and copper in there and make it so I had to fucking conk out and go to sleep for many years, and I got up and I healed myself from infertility, asthma, sinusitis, allergies. My uterus was 11 times the normal size because I was being fucking frequency pulsed. You want to go in deep? I'll go in deep. I cried for years. At least once a week, I cried my eyes out up here because I was being terrorized. And still, I rise. What kind of backbone do you have? What kind of backbone do you have? Can you pick yourself up even though you're not sleeping at night? Even though your teeth are fucked up and you don't want to smile? Can you get up and get shit going for all of us? Or are we just going to fucking fritter around and waste our time? Some of you up here in the Northland, you got money and you had to buy a fucking speedy ass little fucking race car and race around. And like I told you, you hit one of my relatives, I'm going to fuck your ass up because you're grown and you should have known that shit before you did it. Okay, so don't come crying, oh my God, Shaman's gone now and she was like willing to work for free and to help us and be a council of elders. Get your shit together now. Get your shit together now. Now I'm here. I'm here now, willing to do the work. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to change your daily habits? Are you willing to think about sustainability? Are you willing to be another person who's not yourself as a human eating blood and flesh so you can take the load off of these animals, these beings? Are you willing to see that your churches are fucking corrupt? That your politicians are corrupt? That your schools are corrupt? That your prisons, your laws, all of it. Because when you wake up, when you've been through the kind of pain and the kind of joys and hearing the ancestors and turning on all these abilities, if I have them, you have them. I want you to have them. I'm going to go off and age. I don't want to be the queen. I don't do royalty language. But I think it's pretty fucked up when I see young people over there with the fucking plasma needle in their arm. Then I say, you got life fucked up. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? You haven't seen a powerful woman. You haven't seen a well-read woman. You haven't seen a healer. You haven't experienced it. You think you have, but you haven't. You haven't. Because I came from a tough-ass line of women. And yes, I'm in a white vehicle, but I'm probably about as Afrocentric as it gets. And that's actually not it either. I'm for all sentient life to have a chance to express real life. So I've read other people's programs, OPP. You all can have your own little homes and your own little, but I've known for 30 something years, it was a download, not talk to shaman on the phone and get on the fucking live stream, pan your abs and talk about, I got a download. Fuck you, man. You're a fucking liar. Okay? Because if you wouldn't have made it so that you were fingering everybody, and you wouldn't have made it so, as I told you, your ego wasn't humbled yet, you fucked shit up for a whole lot of people. Now, a whole lot more people are emotionally damaged and post-traumatically stressed because of you sticking your fucking finger in them all the time. And what did I tell you when you left? We were discussing your chart. I told you it had aspects of Hitler in it. That was told to you, and I heard it too. And I said, I'd love to come along. It sounds like a great plan, but something doesn't feel quite right, and it's your ego. Oh, well, forget it. If you're not going to submit and do like everything I say, I said, why the fuck would I submit to you? I'm your elder. I'm not going to submit to you because I'm in a white vehicle or because I'm a woman or I'm any of these things. I'm your elder. And I have navigated the matrix a hell of a lot longer than you have. I still get up and do what has to get done at 57 next month. How about you? Yeah, I've navigated cockroaches, drug addiction, absolute debilitating illness, laying there wondering if I was going to get up and breathe again, dealing with shit that was absolutely fucking insane, being strapped to a board and raped as a 4-year-old little girl. You want to talk about insane shit? And I'm still here. That's why I said, part mother, part rogue warrior. If you're going to go associate and be a girl, then go be a fucking girl. Go shopping and do all your little girly shit. But I'm a feminine woman. I like dresses and skirts. I like preparing food. I like being out in nature. I like helping people heal. I love it. It's the joy of my life. It's what I'm so good at because I put daily energy into it for decades. But make no mistake, I'm also the one that lived here alone and rode through being terrorized and rode through being flattened and rode through having my kid pulled out of here, my youth, with nobody. I walked out of a hospital with 3 heavy-duty diagnoses that had IVs in my arm. I said, either take the fucking things out or I'm fucking taking them out myself. I'm going to be nice. And I walked home, barely fucking walking home, and found out they had been putting me on shit I would have never agreed to. I don't agree to that shit, but I passed out. So when you're vulnerable, if you don't have something to hold on to, They're going to kill you in that system. The people around you that see it as crazy, bipolar, because you're not like them, become dangerous. They're just going to run their dog, their perfectly healthy puppy, to the vet. I'm going to run a perfectly healthy puppy to the goddamn dog park and build up his antibodies. They're going to inject the puppy with chemicals, toxins, formaldehyde, aluminum salts, thimerosal perhaps, live viruses. Now we're all having a fucking shed fest. We're all shedding on each other constantly, and we're mutating. Get with it and understand this is constantly an experiment. They've admitted it's an experiment. The radiation, the mercury, they've come here and they're going to keep stripping the shit out of this plane until it becomes an absolute quarry, until you're so fucking desperate for a cup of clean water and your children are trying to escape their children being parasitically attacked, sexually attacked, because sex is domination. I don't give a shit if you disagree with me. Yes, you enjoy it. Yes, it feels good. I've got a hand. I can fucking bring myself to orgasm in 2 minutes. I can lay right on my stomach, use my hand, and bring myself to a great orgasm. I can self-release. That's why I have a hand that reaches that. And I've had clients come in that I have provided guidance for who were living with awful shame that masturbation was horrible, and you can thank the goddamn religious system for that again. If these churches up here are bringing in $15,000 a weekend, why in the fuck are we serving people food from the food bank? I've waited in that line, the food bank line, and gotten the food and distributed it to young people. I know because I've sent Kim a text in the middle of winter and said, I've been waiting here for an hour and a half, and they're going to put all this stuff in the back of my car, and I'm going to drive up to Duluth, and I'm going to hand out waffles and this and that. If you're bringing in $15,000 through the plate, how come we're not having food growing all over the place and your congregation isn't helping to make sure that people start getting well? Don't tell me about your fucking benefit where you're going to feed people slop-ass fucking pasta and spaghetti and dead cow as a meatball to benefit Susie Schmuck, who's now got, some form of cancer. We got to get money to pay for her treatment. We got to get money to send her to a rehabilitation center for a couple of weeks. Fuck no. Get your good habits in place. How come we're not feeding all of these children something other than Nazi bred wheat? Why are we feeding them pasta and brown potatoes and hybridized genetically modified food? Why aren't you saying anything? Why? Because after a while, you become such a resource guarder that's all you care about is how do I keep myself alive? Man, this shit's fucked up. Right. That's why with a council of elders who can sit down and agree to disagree, who are not under the influence of drugs or perpetually cannabis users on a daily basis, you can use cannabis on a once in a great while. You can use it if you're not well and you need to use it. I'm using RSO for one of my clients with Parkinson's right now on a daily basis with absolute efficacy. But don't just hit the escape button. Please. Listen. Join hand in hand. Understand that the reason we have attachment disordered people and children are suffering and being taken out of the home like mine was is because of what happened so long ago when women were put in their place. They became wives, concubines, parts of harems. I've even tried to massage as kindly as possible. A few that write here on Facebook and talk about polygyny and polygamy, and if you're in your teens and 20s and 30s, maybe your 40s, you're still trying to figure out your life experience. Okay. Don't go spend your money on dyeing your hair, getting your fingernails put on, more clothing, going out to eat and sitting down and spending gobs of money, going to fake places. Spend your energy wisely. Get up and do what you're supposed to do before you're supposed to do it. Get into a daily rhythm. Have your fruit sitting there. I went and got my groceries yesterday. Get up and do your sweeping. Take care of your pack if you're living with animals. They don't sit in a cage all day. I don't care what trainer tells you. Dogs don't need obedience class. They don't need a trainer. They don't need a veterinarian most of the time. You need retraining. You need to rethink why you are so gullible that you genuinely think there's empaths. Empathy is a sentient life force energy. Every being, tree, rock, everything, every bird has it. Kim has told you domestication. We didn't have little 5-pound chihuahuas like Pablo. We didn't have white people. Why do we have white people? It would blow your fucking mind if I told you why we have this white vehicle. Because you all are vehicles with certain kinds of mineral content. And a white vehicle is a very denatured, but it also contains a specific kind of a mineral. Okay. You wouldn't like it if I told you. But since we're here and I put all this work in, I sure would like to be able to utilize it to benefit you and me and mine, and us to come into a connected state of mind instead of being as attachment disordered and thrust into the materialism. I mean, just look at Elon Musk and look at the artificial intelligence and look at what's creeping up on you as you stick your card into the fucking machine and have intercourse with it. And I say that to cashiers on occasion, and they go, I go, man, just think about it. Just think about it. Okay? Just think about it. Cussing is sloppy, Sometimes I find myself feeling so frustrated because I did navigate the matrix this far. I have seen miracles with healing. I worked and worked even though everyone told me I was crazy. Even when my own mother, father, brother, and relatives cut off, I navigated through the most extensive Mad Hatter syndrome you can possibly imagine, and my son took the hit. Not only did we leave living close to the ocean where I had the iodine mist and the good food and the mental release, and we came to Cloquet, Minnesota, living a mile away from a fucking toxic paper mill, which you don't think about these things at the time. You're thinking, my cost of living is going to be better. I'm going to be able to parent more. I'm going to be able to homeschool. It'll take me just a little bit of time and I'll figure out a way to have my business going. And then I can homeschool my child as quickly as possible because that's the goal. I'm having a nervous breakdown that I don't want to send him off to strangers. I'm a mother. But in the 1970s, when I was a little girl, the propaganda was to tell mothers, you don't have to do that. Send them off to stranger care. Send them off to summer camp. Get them out of your hair. Get them out of your hair. Burn your bras, right? And they started teaching you a sick, disease, Eurocentric-based form of feminism. Now everyone's soured on feminism. You can't even bring up black supremacy without people thinking, what, you're trying to fucking kill poor whitey. No! People are just trying to say we're supreme beings too. You can't even say Black Lives Matter with some of you bitch ass up here in Duluth saying all lives matter. I go, you ain't under the same kind of pressure. You don't got to worry when you're getting pulled over in a car because you can flash your white skin with all your privilege and your entitlement, and you're not going to get the same kind of fucking treatment. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not here to flash my abs, my breasts, my clothing, my jewelry, my bleached up teeth, my fake ass shit. I'm not here to tell you about my fake ass shit vacations. I'm here to be real and say we need a council of elders. Maybe you love Trump. Maybe you love seeing children in cages. Maybe you love seeing black men murdered and fucking annihilated on the goddamn street. My child was knocked down. In 2008. And from that time forward, the lioness in me, the powerful wolf, stepped out. The one who wouldn't advocate for me, advocated for him. And to separate us and to make a wound with us, to make it so I'm so focused on the wound, is just to try to disable any possible investment I've made to help the whole. And you know what? Fuck off. I'm still getting up. I'm still getting up. I got out of your hospital. I got out of your traps as a 4-year-old little girl bleeding from the anus. I got out of your traps with your ovarian cancer diagnosis, your Clostridium difficile, your infertility, your bullshit. And time after time, I said, no, I'm not getting married. No, I'm not having a TV. A microwave will not be allowed in my home. No, I will not put sunscreen on. And I dealt with even my closest friends telling me in kind words I was being a very irresponsible mother, not slapping sunscreen on my melanated child. And myself for that reason. Okay. For that instance. It is tricky navigating and advocating for yourself once you find out what the system will do to you. Where are your elders that aren't getting tons of surgeries, medications, trapped up in front of the TV, disabled, and everything else, obese, alcoholic, because there isn't a one around me that is willing to give up their TV, their medications, be a healer, and step up. So instead of seeing me as being grandiose or egotistical or any of those things, see me as an opportunity. See me as someone who has so much experience that when you need to know how to heal, that I could be sitting somewhere and helping other younger people, men, women, children, to learn this order of operations that I took decades to learn, that I listened to my own elders, that I absorbed. Not just food, not just alkaline, not just a few things, a wide swath, a big medicine bag. Don't just hate because I'm not Native American or I'm not Black or African. Don't just compete because you didn't do the study. Support something that's going to support you and your own children. Support it. If I go into the dog park and I bring my pack, The other dogs that are in the dog park, and I can guarantee you, every one of them is kibble fed, okay? Every one of them in there has been going to the vet consistently all the time. They're going to sniff the rear end of my dogs. And my dogs are strong. They're intact. And anything strong with ancient capabilities, with super high level intuitive abilities, that's big, black like fire, strong, 31-inch neck, 160 pounds, okay? Strong like Luna, with real wolf ancestral. Strong like Pablo, who's never been to the vet, who's intact. Every one of them is intact. Oh, that's too much work for me, they say. Oh. And they come into the dog park with the leash on their dog and the shock collar around its neck. And I go, what are you doing? Seriously? Like, that looks to me like a love slave, not a dog. Oh, I know, we just cuddle up. And she doesn't really like other dogs. And I go, no, it's you. You are creating a neurotic animal. You are creating a neurotic animal with your own neurotic self. Somehow you interpreted your pain in a neurotic way. Okay. This is not a vent. This is not me angry. This is me saying, get it together. We have plenty of space for all of our people. They're all part of the world family. We don't need walls, borders, shock collars. We don't need to pick up dog shit in plastic bags. We don't need grocery stores and banks, prisons and jails, and courthouses full of cashiers. We don't need to live in separate dwellings. We don't need beds and pillows. We don't need our nails done. I might need my eyebrows though. I do need that. I use some all natural stuff because between the thyroid and the mercury, I lost a lot of my eyebrows. And I feel better when I put the eyebrows on. But aside from that, it's pretty unnatural, except that I'm not getting a lot of sleep with a family member that's going through some stuff. I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, and I have a lot to give. And I'm not putting you down that you smoke all the time or that you do this or you do that, but I'm just saying, did you say it was okay to have all those cell phone towers erected? Did you say it was okay to conceal them as if they were palm trees in Southern California when I drove through there? Or that they're pine trees up here or whatever, that people that are working at the Super One here in Cloquet have a huge, ginormous cell phone tower right behind where they work so that 8 hours a day they're being baked and radiated? Did you okay all the nuclear experiments in Nevada until 1970 with Bainbury? Did you? Did you say it was okay to spray DDT over everything? Did you say it was okay to put children in cages? Why are you not doing anything? Because if getting medicated, smoking your sacred herb means that you're just going to sit on the couch and fucking do nothing, get the fuck up. Get up. Get up and do something. These are all our babies. I want to be on some land with people with like minds so that I can help take care of the babies, so I can educate the young people on the order of operations of how to come out of this fucking game. How to help other people detox on a super high level, not basic shit. We'll start with that, but heavy duty advanced shit. Do you want the people that made it this far through the Matrix, 57 next month, to just go away and never give you the shit for free? Or do we have to keep fucking running out there and getting money all the time and putting our energy into the people that flash their abs and their breasts and their face and their bleached teeth and all this shit? Come on, man, get real. Get real. How many more will have to suffer? How many more? Until you make every single person fucking mentally retarded? Because I am living amongst people that are functioning at a very low level, not just in Cloquet, everywhere. I can see it in what you write, in what you do, and what you favor. So let's pull up, okay? Let's pull up. Let's pull up. Start taking steps. Stop dyeing your hair. Stop putting aluminum foil and bleach and sitting under the fucking dryer. You've only heard me say this at least a dozen times, and if I see you still doing it again, I gotta think what? You're fucking yourself. You saw my post. Self-sabotage is when you just keep fucking yourself over and over and over and over, and every single one of us are doing it, myself included, on some level. It's a cup of coffee, it's bleaching our hair, it's, spending our money on some kind of fake ass shit. So let's rise it up. Let's not just talk about it and make little memes and, let's do it. Otherwise, the children look back when they get 18 and they go, why didn't you do something about it? Why'd you leave me in this shit? What was I supposed to make out of this? Don't just tell me, don't judge me. Fuck you, man. You don't have sex in the asshole. The asshole is for your toxins to leave you. That's where the worms hang out. That's where you fucking eliminate. That's not a sex hole. That's an elimination device. That's where you eliminate. It's on the backside of your body. Pornography? Really? All the sex toys being sold? Am I just a prude? Am I a prude because I'm saying that? Or do we need plastic little bunny rabbits that you put fucking batteries in that you throw in the landfill after you've been shoving it up inside of your yoni or your asshole? Or worse yet, you're using it on a small child. Do you want to keep this shit in the closet? Or do you want to talk about what's real? Because I see a lot of fake ass warriors, and I'm not one of them. I've ridden through some shit, and I've ridden through some unbelievable joys. It took balls to go to 3 countries by myself when I was very young, and to take a big horse through the rainforest with 3 beautiful, spectacular Mexican men down by Guatemala, and go 3.5 hours deep into the rainforest, take our clothes off, shower under a waterfall. There wasn't social media. There wasn't, this was 1993, 94. We didn't have what we have today to see all this stuff and all these images and YouTube. We didn't. We just did it. Shouldn't it still be safe? Or should we worry about every step our children take? Put leashes on them. Put some finders on them. Stash little codes on there. Put shit on their phones so we know how to locate them when someone takes them. Fuck you. Every fucking person should be looking to make sure this shit is not happening. So we have standards. One of them is the asshole is an asshole, okay? We don't factory farm animals. We no longer take dogs from their mommies and take puppies home because we want one. I want one, self-included, me too. Not just me too, okay? We stop sterilizing everything. We let things come into balance. We grow our own food, okay? We start to regenerate. We detoxify, we gather, stabilize, detoxify, heal, and are regenerated. It's about a 2-year process. But you have to be able to be en masse willing to walk off the plantation. The plantation is shoving your children in schools, shoving the needle in your arm, shoving yourself out to work in your goddamn vehicle and racing to get there. I went through all that. Now I see the younger ones go through it, so I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying it's a predictable trap. You fuck up your vehicle, you fuck up yourself with stress, you end up drinking the coffee in the morning, now you got the speeding tickets, now your insurance goes up. This is a predictable trap. You're going to pay all the way through the thing until you're so fucked up, you walk onto a car lot and you just go, oh, let's take the red one. Who cares if I've got payments for the next 8 years of $500 a month? I want to feel good when I sit behind the wheel. People are going to look at me. They're going to see how powerful and good I am because I'm driving a new red SUV. I'm cool. My teeth are bleached. Or you're going to be one of these idiots dancing and twerking, sticking your tongue out. What got you so fucked up that you think you're just some kind of a sexual commodity? We have to dress modest right now, don't we? I mean, we have to because we're living in an area in a time where people are so hormonalized from the milk, meat, the eggs, the chicken babies, and all the shit that they told you that you had to have. So now if you go into the store, you look for a protein bar, a protein drink. Protein, 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 protein. I need my calcium and my protein. Did you ever connect the dots and say to yourself, that's why so many people have osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, cancer, and everything else, because you're none of those things? That's the wrong kind of calcium for you. You didn't need that calcium in that protein. You are a plant eater. And yes, throughout the ages, people ate meat and fish because they too were experiments. Grandma told us about Tiamat. She was friends with Zecharia Sitchin, who wrote about the Anunnaki. I've heard about them since I came out of the womb. Nothing new. Same regurgitated shit I keep seeing everybody talk about. So my spiel is, when are we going to do something about it? When do we empower ourselves? Or do we just be disgruntled, angry, disempowered, self-sabotaging, environmentally destructive, mother degrading, attachment disordered, disconnected, fucked up, getting high all the time individuals? So now that Bayer has already genetically modified the majority of the cannabis, you fell for that too. Otherwise, you'd be making sun tea and getting medicine out of cannabis, and you'd be juicing it. You'd be making some edibles. Your children would be drinking cannabis tea and cannabis juice. Oh, we can't do that, can we? But you can make damn sure you've got all the medical dispensaries and get those hybrid strains up with the highest level THC possible. And you'll do all the CBD and all the THC in the world, but you're not going to change your diet. You're not going to detoxify yourself. You're not going to fast. And you're going to keep speaking with creator language. You're going to keep speaking with, well, don't judge me. She's judging me. Because you know all the rest of the who's in Whoville are going to jump on your fucking bandwagon. They're going to defend you because they don't want to be judged either. But your God can judge you. Your white male up in the sky can judge you, right? The same one you give on the collection plate. Okay. I'm going to end it right here. Say thank you for joining me. Give thanks for joining me. Look into my eyes. Just look. I know who I am. I know the experiences I've had. I'm not a baby. I'm not a girl. I'm a grown, powerful woman who gets up and works hard and does what she thinks is the right things, who works with right relations, who's made a lot of mistakes and learned from them. A lot. Who's worked in the legal system, which was a blessing, in very high places, office in judges' chambers, worked directly with Alan D. Filippo and Julie Calora at the Merced County, California Merced County District Attorney. I've been celebrated. I've had phenomenal joys and insights and phenomenal intuition, dancing and drumming and travel. And I've also had the flip side. Horrible rape, strangulation, leaving my body, being abused by doctors, having people not understand me, being disconnected so that while everyone else is out having holidays with their family, you sit by yourself and you kind of cry and you go through things. I've gone through Mad Hatter syndrome that was so fucking severe that when people tell me about their 4 or 5 or their 10 or their 12 amalgam fillings, I go, yeah, to try having 23 and then moving a mile away from a paper mill and being under such goddamn stress as a solo parent and no money and your mother coming to evict you with the sheriff. My mother, Mel Pringle, was coming with the sheriff to evict me 9 months after I moved into this house because she put it on a 10-year mortgage, even though I patiently said, put it on a 20 or a 30. I don't have a job yet. I've got a young child. I don't know that I'll be able to. And she was, oh, that's ridiculous. You want to pay off the house? I said, no, I want a parent. And I want to make sure I can stay in the house. And I want to make sure I can pay you back every time because I wasn't getting anything for free. I didn't have mommy buying me massages. I didn't have mommy buying me food. I didn't have anybody doing shit for me besides she put the house in her name and she put it on a 10-year mortgage to sabotage me. My mother was like a seek and destroy missile on some levels because of her attachment disorder. I still love her and respect her. She's my mother. But she's tough as nails. And so am I because of her. And so am I because of her mother, Etna, my grandmother. And my other grandmother, Olive. I'm tough as nails. But I'm also a mother. I'm stern. But I love my broom and I love my skirts and my dresses. And don't tell me I can't call myself a female or a woman, because I'll tell you to fuck off. To re-empower everyone and connect people is my passion, and I'm not stopping till I get there. I love you for real. And sometimes I get frustrated. I want to get this thing going sooner than later. So let's do it. Okay? All right. One love.